Hi, welcome to Inspekta. So today I'm going to take you through the system, and I'm going to start with the wizard, because the first thing you do when you go into Inspekta is you have a chance to customize the whole system for your service and also customize it for the people that you support. This is where it starts. This is where it all starts, basically. So you just complete your setup quickly. You choose your sector and you choose whether you're residential care, put the housing, and so forth. Now this screen here is to allow you to set tasks for the people you care for that may be working towards independent living skills. So what you can do is you can add questions and scenarios that get sent to them on a frequent basis, and allows them to show how they're progressing towards meeting their daily their life skills. So you can click that, and then basically you just you input the information required, and it will then basically generate an ongoing system where it checks in with them through WhatsApp or through SMS, and it allows them to evidence how they're meeting their goals. This is where you choose the regulator that regulates you. You just pick the regulator, and then you go to next. You enter your unique URN, and then you get your staff set up, basically. So two ways to do this. Either you give all your staff a join code, or you can upload a .csv with all of your staff, and it'll automatically input all your staff into the system. So you choose the staff that you normally have in your service, and when you click to all, now this is what you click when you want to actually configure the areas that you want the staff to be tested about on a regular basis, because we have a micro-learning system that basically fires off questions, whether it's weekly, monthly, depending on the staff's experience. You can set it so that they can be tested on a regular basis around areas relevant to your service. So you can click the service areas that you want testing, and then you just go to next, and uploading documents. You might have training documents, policies and procedures that you want as part of your onboarding or ongoing training. You upload them here, and the system will automatically configure Inspekta around your service, so that when your staff join or log in, it has regular questions that check their knowledge around these areas. So now I want the policy configuration. This is where you upload all of your policies for your organization. It will categorize it for you in the correct categories, and it will allow you to have a fully configured service set up with all your policies ready to go for staff to sign, to read, and then show that they've signed it. They can do all that in the system and give you evidence that they understand as well, because what it allows you to do is test their knowledge on those policies through the competency assessment module we have within Inspekta. So everything is right at their fingertips. So here's where you actually personalize the whole setup for you. So you can choose the names for each of these things. You may say children. So just so you might put children, or whatever terminology you use in your service. This is where you customize it. And all of these fields you can customize totally to you, so there's nothing here generic. It's all totally customizable. This is where you set up the frequency of the testing of your staff knowledge and competency. A regular it's a micro learning test basically. They get frequent questions. It's up to you the frequency. Depending on maybe how long they've been there for, you can vary the frequency that staff are going to get the questions. So you might want a minimal frequency, it's up to you. Then you just click complete setup. Is actually totally configured to your setup. Sorry, that's my son just passing by there. He's off school for the day. Okay, so now we just complete setup. So now I'm going to take you into the other parts of Inspekta. Firstly, we're going to look at the feedback, because when you go into the dashboard, the dashboard here. So this is where you have all the information that you need as a manager or director. You can see at a glance what is going on, your feedback incidents per month, and this is your leaderboard for your staff that are actually doing the competency assessments. The great thing is, as you know here, the staff actually will be very motivated because no one wants to be at the very bottom. You can see with clarity who's actually performing and who isn't, as well as any staff that have been highlighted as great performers or poor performers are going to be within the feedback as well. You will see they can choose a staff and give feedback on their ability as well as the overall experience. It gives you the average and the incidents per month. So this is your general, and this tells you about the engagement in micro-learning questions we spoke about earlier. And then we have, now we're going to go into your safeguard. Oh, by the way, within the feedback, what you can do is you can look at the comments, and then you can say what action you've taken, any improvements expected, and then you can save that, and it will actually continue the process in line with CQC or Ofsted. So as you see, you've got your risk alerts as well on this screen, referral management, and any recent activity that should be dealt with immediately. Now we're going to go to SIT, the safeguarding dashboard. So this is where it all happens in terms of incident management. So with incidents, with SIT, as you know, it allows you to look under the surface and find out what's really going on, as opposed to just an incident log. So for example, if we were to, so this is the actual dashboard. You can see high risk and it tells you what's going on medication wise. You can just select a resident to view. It gives you the risk score. It gives you the insights. You can view a full timeline of anything that's happened to them. And also, because the log system allows you to assign the logs to instance, it means that you have a full audit trail of an incident. You can map it to the original incident and what was logged on that day and so forth. You also can see contextual patterns. It gives you that real data that you need to put changes in place and to ensure that you're not caught short. You can save people coming to harm before it's too late. It was critical, things that require warning, and again you've got all of your contextual areas here. So now I'm going to show you how to actually create an incident that will actually feed into this system. So firstly, you're going to report an incident. 1 second. To go into one second. It's going to so this is how you create a basic incident now. Okay, you can create the type of incident that you have, the severity, you choose a location, and the date, and the time. This is where you select individuals that were concerned, and the staff also that may have been there. You enter the details, short summary, and then this is where you actually have to understand what's the context behind this, where did it happen, who was involved, what peers. So you just enter the details here. Could be maybe in the public space, it may be in the park. See who witnessed it, if they instigated it, or who's involved. And here you can add people that are external people to the system that may not be part of their peer, maybe just someone random in the park. So you can put, I don't know, Fred, add an individual, and that person will be there again if the incident happens again, and the same person's involved. You'll see his name there, and so you may see another pattern that you would not have seen necessarily before. As you see, environmental factors, if any, supervision level, maybe they were unsupervised, and this is where you put the risk indicators that increase the risk or vulnerability. So we say maybe peer pressure, and some group dynamics as well. And if there was any medical injury, you may say, yes, there was a fight with an injury, and you want to say where that injury occurred. You've got the body map here. You can basically mark where it was. Maybe they had multiple injuries. And then you just basically, you can go deeper in this. You can actually, if it's like his thumb or his fingernail, you can scroll down, and there's so much. We covered all of the angles. You can see my little finger, wherever it is. And then you just basically, just save it. And that's saved to the incident. Was there any corrective actions required? Maybe there were. So you say by who and what dates, etc., etc. And if the police were called or ambulance, you reference that maybe police were called. Sorry, excuse that. Okay. And then you may have witnesses also that witnessed incidents. So you just pull down if they're witnesses or not, and if there were any external names, put it in there. And that's basically how you report the incident. And when that's done, that then feeds into the whole ecosystem with the whole safeguarding intelligence technology that will give you the overall oversight. I showed you earlier, especially if there were hotspots, like the location, that local place, the park, may have been another incident happened a month ago, and it will connect the dots for you. Saves you having to, as a manager, sit down, go through paperwork and analyze where the patterns are. It does it for you. So that's that. So I just report incident basically, and the incident created. That's the one. That's not the one there. And actually, what it does, if I go to incident here, I'll go to the name of the client. So the history, all the instances you got here. You have all the instances that have got taken place, completed, pending, overview. You can see your insights here. Select a resident. So we were, was it Riley? This was here. Last 7 days. You can view the details of that if you need to. You can view the contextual side of things. You see there's 2 high-risk residents there. So that's a dog. And then we have, here you have your safeguarding risk score. It's all very self-explanatory. Doesn't require a lot of training, to be honest with you. You can see exactly what's going on all of the time. As you see here, and you can have a view, a full timetable of everything going on here. So as you see, it's very, very comprehensive. So that's basically how the incidents are actually, how they work on the platform. Next, I'm going to show you how the governance side of thing works. So we're now going to look at the governance intelligence side of things. Okay, so this is an overview of all your locations. It gives you location. It's a location-based dynamic risk detection system, and it gives you a complete overview of all of your locations. So it will show you at a glance. You get information immediately. You can see especially as a multi-home provider, you can see the high-risk locations, and you can click into them and see what's been going on. Your governance score, the heat maps. So it tells you exactly where the issues are straight away at a glance with the key. You see the warnings, the risk factors. You can see they're all there. You can view a timeline as well. So this is the whole governance screen, and now I'm going to show you the feedback screen as well, so you see where other information that will feed into your safeguarding intelligence technology. The feedback is another part of the loop. It really allows you to. I mean, some providers, what they do is they have our QR codes in the client's rooms, by the front door, on the website. So it allows people to upload feedback when they want to, as opposed to where managers want to do their monthly client review. It puts it puts the power back into the hands of the families as well. Can do it when they want to. Other stakeholders as well can submit feedback, and it goes straight into. It's very simple to use. Go straight into the system. You choose your location, category, and they just tell you what they want to tell you. They submit it, and what happens is managers then get an email alert, and they can deal with it accordingly. Along with that, you can then link and action manage the feedback, and you can basically see exactly what's happening to each feedback, where it is, the status of it, and so forth. So it's very, very comprehensive. It's the action taken. It's all there, and they can do it either anonymously or they can leave their names, and they can also highlight individual staff that may have been really, really good or maybe really bad, but then you get an idea when it comes to supervision appraisals. This information is part of that supervision dashboard, which is great because it means that you've got all the information you need to do a proper supervision at hand. Nothing gets missed. So here's per location, you get your overall average rating, any actions required. You can see all the bits and pieces that you need to see as someone overseeing the sites. And this is the QR code manager I told you about. Each QR code will represent a particular site. You can have even people's rooms, and then what you can do is have feedback according to sites. We're making it easy for people basically, and the platform feedback. So it's similar. I say it's similar to sort of Amazon. Like when you're going to go and buy something, you want to see, well, what's the feedback like, and just to get a quick at a glance average rating, and you can make a decision as to what your next move is going to be. So that's the feedback. Now we're going to look at as I said, the governance. I'm not going to that already. And at the end of this, we're going to have some questions and some chance for you to actually ask us as well anything that you want to see. So I just show you this already, but I'm not sure I showed you everything. There's so much to the system, but obviously today we're just going to go through the key bits regarding SIT and touch a bit of governance intelligence at the same time. We mentioned feedback, but the main thing is that there's 4 quadrants. You've got safeguarding, and that really involves the operations, governance, and my colleague Simon will take you through the financial side of things as well, because often there's financial impacts of safeguarding. For example, somebody may have a cost that's a direct relation to an incident that took place, and currently a lot of people don't map that cost of an incident. Just base incident is separated, and the costs are separated in the client's cash book and there's no link between the two. But often there are links, and it's important that we capture them. So what we found is very important to actually capture and link the financial cost of that safeguarding incident as well. I mean, Simon will show you much more, like we also do other things that he will tell you about, but I'm just focusing on that for now, and I figure out how to bring him into the meeting. So I'm now going to try and bring Simon into the call, and hopefully, Simon, you're ready? Yeah, is our guest coming? Simon Levy?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep. You're live, Simon. If you just take over.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much for that demonstration. So I'm just going to share my screen. Just give me 1 second. I'll do... Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
No?
Yeah, no, so I can see your screen.
Can you see the dashboard,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Sorry, I just want to make sure. I'll just hide.
There you go. That's good.
Okay, fine. Sorry. Perfect. So what I'm showing you here is, and I'll touch on what Stephen mentioned about the cost controls and obviously how that will all associate. But what I'm just going to touch on first is the payroll side of things. So what we have here and what we're going to be doing is connecting all your data from the front of house in terms of from the rota, so the timesheets, the employees. You could even have contractors. We'll be associating all of that, so that can be self-billed. But we'll just focus today on the payroll. So as you can see here, you've got all your new starters. And I'm just going to skim over certain elements because some of these elements could take in themselves 10-15 minutes. So I'm not going to bore you too much with the detail, but there is a whole onboarding process around new starters. We've got the timesheet data. And just bear in mind, this is a demonstration, so this is demo data, so it might not be strictly associated to a care home. But what you'll have here is the name of the employees, where you're wanting to potentially invoice this on. We do have that facility, so that's why you can see the number of units, the pay rate and the charge rate. And all of these rates, again, will be controlled through a placement or a job. However you want to phrase it, but it will all be controlled. So the idea is that each week or each month you're doing a payroll, it is very streamlined and shouldn't take more than, say, 10 minutes to do the whole process from start to end. Holidays. So we manage holidays. So if you've got 0 hour workers, we will be accruing those holidays per legislation so that when they do take holiday, all the units will be correct. So if they want to take a day off and they've got varying hours, our system will do all those calculations and be compliant for HMRC. With payroll, you'll see here there could be various lines here. So for example, if I want to look at David Robinson as a conclusion, I can just see he's got 3 timesheets in here and the holiday, and that's what's going to be going through to payroll. All of this data will automatically synchronize with our payroll software. So that's why we'll be offering a very competitive price, because there's no rekeying in. You might be using a payroll service now where, however that process looks, whether it's a spreadsheet, timesheets, however that is, in most cases, there'll be a rekeying in of data. What we're doing here is you capture the data at source, and then we see it through right to the end. And the same for invoicing. So as you saw, as we're collecting all this data, when it comes to invoicing now, it's a click away from sending that into, say, Xero. So this is just like a preview of what the invoice will look like. You click that, and then once it's approved, which I'll just do quickly. So there you go, it's approved. And once it's approved, you then get the create. So once I click that, what will happen is that will then turn into an invoice number, which means it's gone to Xero, and then Xero's given us back an invoice number. So, and then from that point on, it will just get emailed out to your client. Okay, so what I'm going to touch on next, I mean, there's a number of features in here, but I'm not going to go into the detail of it. But one, for example, is purchase orders, purchase requests, and the whole approval process. So whether you've got one care home, multiple care homes, and you want to have some sort of cost control, you can do that through our system. And there's a whole approval workflow. Again, that's in another presentation, but there's a whole workflow so that you've got controls on how you're spending money, budget controls, etc. I'm just going to touch quickly on two other elements. One is more on the analytics side. So as a product, we're going to be offering you standard reports. So one could be payroll. So as you can see here, you can see all your payroll costs. Maybe your payroll is scattered around different departments. So you may want to see what your payroll looks like per department. So for example, if I just wanted to highlight myself just in maintenance, I can see, okay, maintenance is maybe more outdoors, so hence why it's busier or more costly in the summer and then quieter around the winter months. And then there's all the drill down abilities, so I can just drill down by anything I want to drill down by. One more thing I'm just going to show you is on the food and beverage side. And again, these are just purely demonstrations. So anything you can think of in terms of data, analytics, what you'd like to see in your care home, that's what we are able to deliver. So this is just going to show you your spend on a particular period. So you can look at August, for example, very quickly. You'll see it just recalibrates and reloads. You can look at trend analysis. So if you want to see your food cost controls, because you may have a certain target you want to hit, this will just show you those controls, because if you've got a head chef or however it's being managed and they've got a duty to meet certain parameters, this is what you could give them access to, so then they can see directly what they're purchasing. So you can see even on here, what we're doing here is we're capturing the actual invoices, doing an OCR read of the invoice, so you can see exactly what's going on. And again, just touching on what Stephen was talking about before, is any costs that you have in your care home, whatever it relates to, we'll be doing OCR on it, automating the reading of that data and then categorizing that automatically. And again, putting on alerts around that. If you need to know about something, you can set alerts up, and we have a whole alerts module on that. But again, that's a whole another conversation. But that concludes my presentation for now. So I'll hand you back to Stephen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon. Excellent. So basically, that's the end of the presentation. But next week, we're going to be covering supervisions. It's an area that we can show you how we've actually transformed. I'll give you a sneak preview. And also, we'll look at referral management as well. So there's some critical areas of care that we can give you a sneak preview now, but we'll go into more detail next week, and you'll get an idea of the sort of abilities of the system. So thank you for your time, and we really look forward to seeing more of you, working with you. I hope you're enjoying the content in the Regulatory Edge. I hope that you like what you've seen today, and I really do look forward to either try the pilot, jump on the pilot. You've seen the wizard. It's very, very straightforward. It's very easy to use. You're set up within minutes. It's frictionless, so you can jump on there today if you want and check out the bits that I missed going through today. Try it for yourself, and also join us next week, and we'll take you through a bit more of the system, and Simon maybe will take you through some other areas of the financial aspects as well. We both look forward to seeing you, and it's been a pleasure for the last half an hour or so. Thank you very much. You take care. Goodbye.
Thank you.